All right. So Bills fans are getting a little antsy here. They haven't been able to close the door two seasons in a row to get to the Super Bowl. Matter of fact, they haven't even been able to get to the championship game the last 2 years. What's up with that? So
Man, you're rubbing salt in that wound.
so they're trying. So they're blaming. From what I'm hearing, there's blame on the coaching staff. Maybe we need another coach. But that's not our job here. Our job here is to figure out what they do need to do in order to accomplish that talent-wise. Look, they have a good foundation with Bill, with Bean as his general manager, so he knows what he's doing. But I do agree with some of the fans because I've actually been questioning this myself the past couple of years, and we just talked about it. They've got to put more balance in the offense. You can't just have Allen throwing the ball and running the ball all the time. I mean, it's too much. You got to. Now, I don't know what they're going to do with Singletary. So do they resign? And see, if they resign Singletary, then that's just bringing back the same guys at running back. And because should they think early in the draft, first round, second round, third round, drafting like they did with Cook, getting another impact running back in that backfield and trying to emphasize a little bit more of the running game. And that also means to improve that offensive line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my number one need for this team is up front on the offensive line. Not everyone will agree with that, but Allen was sacked 33 times this year. That's the most since 2019. The Spencer Brown experiment at right tackle, I'll raise my hand. I liked him. I had a first-round grade on him coming out of Northern Iowa. He has not looked very good. Deion Dawkins, look, I mean, if he's my left tackle, I'm okay with it, but I need to have a lot of talent around him to feel good about it, and they don't. Saffold, left guard, I think his best days are done. He's done. He's a free agent anyway. I don't think he'll be back. So you're looking at multiple holes on an offense that wants to throw the ball as much as without a power run game. It won't work. I think this is the result you're going to see year after year unless they address it. And this is a team where I could say this would be a great fit for the guard from Florida, Torrance. But you need to embrace that brand of football. And you're a team in Buffalo that you could almost guarantee you're going to be playing in. The kind of weather that
didn't they just learn their lesson in the snow game?
Right. So I'm on board with using one of the picks on a running back. Does it have to be an early one?
Not necessarily.
It does not.
No.
But it needs to be a specific kind of running back that can offset what James Cook is bringing to the table. A power in between the tackles, put your nose down, blue-collar runner.
Give me one of those guys rounds 2 through 4.
Eric Gray from Oklahoma is one of them. And I like Kendre Miller from TCU. I actually think that would be a really good fit schematically and just with what they already have in that backfield. One of those two guys, Eric Gray or Kendre Miller. If they want to go day 3, I think there's going to be better talent rounds 5 through 7 for that role and just more economic talent, I should say. Roshan Johnson from Texas, the backup to Bijan Robinson. The league loves him. The league will love him even more. The fans will love him even more after the Senior Bowl week. Chase Brown from Illinois.
Yes,
I think fits into that mold. And then Kenny McIntosh from Georgia. Last one, Chris Rodriguez from Kentucky. These are guys that are just like no nonsense. Put their nose down. They're going to get 3 yards every time.
You drafted Cook last year, so you bring in his teammate.
That would be great.
And also keep in mind they have the free agents along the offensive line as well. And by the way, can we get an upgrade at some point, sometime from Mitch Morse? All right, seriously. He's just a guy.
Yeah,
that's all he is.
Yeah,
this is the problem. They just seem to be content with just guys. Average guys.
Yeah, what they've done a lot of. I did a little study on this last year. They've drafted, I think, all of their interior guards, starters and backups, were college tackles.
Wow.
They were college tackles that converted to guard. And It's funny, stereotypically, I'm not going to go into every single player one by one, but stereotypically, those are guys that pass protect well, but they can't get movement off the ball.
There you go.
And I think that's one of their biggest issues. They don't get movement off the point of attack.
That's it. So, look, we'll know after the free
Yep.
agency and the draft. We'll know if they're
Yep.
changing their mind a little bit.
Yep.
But do you think if they don't re-sign Crowder or Beasley, should they bring in a slot receiver
I think they're going to roll with
in the
Shakir in the
slot?
second year. Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I think that's his best spot. That's where he played in college. And Gabe Davis and Diggs, they both kind of interchange outside inside. So do they need like just a slot?
Okay.
No, they don't. But when they have all three on the field, Shakir could be the guy in the middle.
Maybe they should, if they don't re-sign Crowder and Beasley, they should just bring in a depth piece.
Yeah, a bargain piece. Yeah.
Because one injury and they're in a little bit of trouble.
Yep.
So, all right. And then on defense, the safety position now becomes real all of a sudden after years of Poyer and Hyde, the best tandem pretty much in the league. Now you've got Poyer free agent, you got Hyde's a free agent next year, and then you also have the Hamlin injury. So safety, if you're looking at, because I think the cornerback situation is not that bad. Maybe you can add another corner, but would you say safety? Because Elam will hopefully step up his game next year. Do you think safety is a top need for them
I think it's their top defensive need.
overall?
No
On
question.
defense.
Yeah, it's their top defensive need, even over linebacker where they're losing Edmonds. I think they can make do. The middle of that field is thin.
Does Bernard just replace Edmonds? And they say, is that the reason they drafted him? You think last year for this exact reason?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a good way of putting it. But I agree. At corner, they're pretty deep between White, Teron Johnson, Dane Jackson, and then the two rookies, Benford and Elam. I know Elam was pretty up and down, but towards the end of the year, I thought he was playing.
Hey, it's first round draft pick, so he better work out for you.
Yeah.
And they do have to re-sign Jackson.
Right. And so I don't know about Hamlin. What is his deal physically? I mean, I think now I guess we are removed from the situation far enough now that we can say, okay, he's living, he's healthy from that
now we can talk
perspective.
Football.
Can he still play football? I mean, if he can, like you said, losing him and Poyer in one shot, I mean, that is a huge deal for that defense.
If they spent the first round draft pick on a safety, who would we be looking at?
I mean, to offset what Hyde is bringing to the table, Antonio Johnson, that could be a good spot. He's more of a, he's versatile, which I think that team likes. Hyde and Poyer, if you remember, they were both college corners that just were a little too slow. Johnson played a lot of nickel corner at Texas A&M. Again, can't play that in the NFL, but I like the interchangeability that he brings to the table.
Do you think they're going to re-sign Poyer?
I don't know what their cap situation is.
Right now, it's not too good.
It's not too good. I think he will get a sizable offer in the market.
Okay.
So I think someone will pay to come in and kind of be like their missing piece of the secondary. So coin flip, to me, he won't be back.
He's probably he'll go somewhere where he can because he's 31, so he still has a couple more years.
I think the best value though for this safety group in particular is like round 3, round 4, round 5. And I don't know if Buffalo is going to want to draft a safety and just put him into the starting lineup right away. Like McDermott likes experience on the back end. So I could see them more likely trying to find a bargain in free agency, maybe like the second or third wave of free agency, and pairing him with one of these third round, fourth round safeties, like Jair Brown from Penn State, Sidney Brown from Illinois, Kayvon Merriweather from Iowa, getting those guys in the building, or you go try to find a corner that is a little too slow to play on the outside. I mean, they're, that Jartavius Martin, we talked about him with the cornerback group from Illinois. There's Devin Weatherspoon, and then there's Jartavius Martin. He actually is probably the guy. If I had to pick one corner that will be a better safety in the NFL, it's probably him.
And look,
so keep an eye.
They have smartly, early in the draft, with the defense they run, they have gone after edge rushers. The problem is none of these, so far, these guys are just like, okay, They're like nice little
Right.
depth edge rushers. But you spend first and second round draft picks on edge rushers. One of them needs to be a top guy. One of them needs to be your
Yeah.
top dog. The top dog was Von Miller. They had to bring him
Yep.
in, and they hopefully he won't lose much because he's older. He's got coming off an injury. They have. You would think, based on their history, that edge rushing maybe at the bottom of the first round too. Is there something they have to consider?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a front office that purely values positional value, right? They are big on quarterback, wide receiver, corner, and edge rushers. And if you are not happy with this group, or you had an oh shit moment when Von Miller went down, saying we just don't have anything left.
Well, they lost it. They didn't have anything when Von Miller went down.
Right. It's definitely a sneaky possible pick for the end of the round.
4-3 edge rusher at pick 27.
I mean, this name we talked about, Lucas Van Ness from Iowa, probably a good fit.
Okay.
Do they want to go back down the Iowa train? It didn't work out with that Vanessa.
That's
Zach
true.
Zach Harrison, probably a little too rich for him. There's not much. I mean, Andre Carter, who I don't have him that high, but a lot of people do, and a lot of people will, based on his upside. Reminds me a little bit of Rousseau from Miami, who they drafted, and he's flashed enough to say that the pick is working out so far. So those are names to keep an eye on at the end of round one.